smile starting to creep onto the faces of those Timor Leste players now. It's Corsino, who came on a moment or so ago. Zeon Cruz will be disappointed that he wasn't able to continue after scoring the goal. I'm sure he's on a real high. Too heavy the challenge from Osorio. Good foot in from Luis Figo. Shows he's just as good at defending as he is pressing forward. Hanif. Slight misunderstanding there between Jom and Farrugia. No harm done. Jarangel. Well, Ryan Jom did well. The ball going out off Aswan. Signal, I think, a double change here for Timor Leste. Anicio Correa is going to come on, and the man who scored the third goal in stoppage time last week, Ignacio da Silva, who plays for Portadown under-21s in Northern Ireland. Made his debut last week. He was only 10 minutes into his debut when he got that goal set up by Luis Figo. There's Ryan Jom. Heavy challenge from Aswan on the goalkeeper, and Dylan Niski, I think, will have a few words with him. A little bit of frustration maybe from the captain. He did score the goal in the first half, the captain, but obviously that deficit wiped out and turned around in the second. Aswan Ali Rahman. That goal was his first since scoring against Macau back in 2024. Farrugia is going off for Anicio Carrera. And Jarangel making way for Ignacio. Just 19 years of age, Ignacio. Carrera will go into centre-back. Ryan Jom will switch to wing-back. Ignacio will be a straight swap. Drop in on the left-hand side, just ahead of Jom. Just these players will take a break after this. The next time they play will be in the Hyundai Cup. First touch for Ignacio. Drop of the shoulder, did brilliantly well. Came off the goalkeeper's knee. Still not cleared. Referee has to take evasive action. Osorio! Palmed away again by Jaime, who got a better touch on that. But Osorio, having scored that first one, so close to a second. Great run from Ignacio. Ryan Jom teed it up brilliantly for Osorio. Another good one-handed save by the goalkeeper. Got enough on that one just to push it away at the expense of a corner. In swinging corner. United to a crowd of players. Came off, for sure that was Eric. It was Eric. Maybe took took a knee to the back, which was a bit of a painful one. We'll need some treatment before we can continue. I certainly felt that it was a real melee in the middle. Still, one or two words between one or two players, feeling that Eric might be milking this a little bit, but, well, with a 4-goal aggregate lead, he doesn't really need to milk it. There's only a quarter of an hour to go. Gustavo coming across to take on some liquids. Eric will be okay. Will need to leave the field, of course, as is the want these days. It'll be interesting to see how this side fare against higher ranked opposition when they take their place in the Hyundai Cup. Another corner here, they'll have to attack this one without Eric. Gustavo again will swing the corner in swing up once more. And towards that near post area, needed a little flick, didn't get the flick it needed, away by Alinur. This one just allowed it to run, but good covering by Azario, who's covered plenty of ground in the midfield tonight. Nudging the back on Corsino, but still manages to hold on to possession. Defending from Luis Figo. Let's get that ball away from your own goal. Eric's back on the field after that knocker movement or so ago. Last week's win for Timor Leste was just their 12th in 92 matches. Heading for a second in a row. Long ball over the top once again. Ryan John with a header. Azario judged the bouncing ball better. Hanif. Zinquan back to his goalkeeper. Cleverly rolled it outside the posts. There's an arm up there from Harris, which is going to earn him the yellow card. Just led with the arm. It was a naughty one, actually. Not quite an elbow, but draw that arm back. Eric, who's back in the thick of it once again. You can understand Brunei feeling a little aggrieved, a little frustrated. Timor Leste came out much better at the start of the second half. Official. I just wonder whether VAR might have had a look at that to see if it was a red card, but play will continue. No VAR interventions tonight as yet. Unlike last week when we had a couple that were quite pivotal in the way the game turned out in the end. First one giving a penalty to Timor Leste and a red card to Hafiz. Second disallowing a Brunei goal that would have got them back into the game at 2-1 at the time. Eric. In behind once again. Great ball across. What a goal, what a finish. It's Ignacio once again, who scored 10 minutes into his debut last week and gets another one here to make it 3. What an introduction, what an inspired substitution. And Timor Leste are heading into the finals in style. The Hyundai Cup beckons. Ignacio makes it 3. Brilliant ball in from Gustavo and a first-time finish. Instinct took over and the 19-year-old showing great maturity to fire that one home on the half volley and make it 3-1 on the night, 6-1 on aggregate. Another double change about to come here for Timor Leste. Good opportunity now to get some more players down. Oligar Malik coming on. And Xavi Arate also coming on for just his second appearance. I'm not too sure what checking here. Brunei waiting to get things underway. I think VAR might just be checking for a potential offside. Problems. We're underway. Luis Figo actually couldn't quite keep that ball in play. Ashraf is coming off. Addy is the player coming on. And the changes, Gustavo making way for Oliver Malik. And Xavi Arate is also on. And Gustavo going off on the far side in front of a little pocket of Timor Leste fans that are over there. Azario is the other man that's made way. Great performance from him tonight. Timor Leste lead. It's been a wonderful second half for them. Another foul though. Spring's going to. There'll be a few tired legs out there now. Change coming up for Brunei. It's that time of the game. Nasri coming on for Ikhan and Haziq coming on to replace the captain Azwan. Xavi Arate. Is there a consolation in this for Brunei late on here? Nazir, you just come on. Good block again, those white shirts swarming back and getting around the ball. May have gone out of play. Will be a corner. Brunei corner, 4 players in a little group around the penalty spot. Fatter to swing this one over. Good header from Jackson Pereira. Chase on and well kept in, although he put a foot on the ball, has he? Oh, that's a heavy touch from Olga Malik. Ayumi came quickly out of his goal, got clattered into, I think, by Olga Malik. A good run by the substitute, just out of his reach though, and inadvertently collided with the goalkeeper. Well, he's played around Southeast Asia quite a lot, was with Siem Reap in Cambodia, Thimphu City in Bhutan, and Gia Sumac in the Philippines. Did score in a 3-2 defeat to Malaysia in the ASEAN Championship back in 2024. One or two experienced players on the bench. When you look at his winning his 16th cap tonight, he's one of the most experienced members of this squad though at 21. 6 minutes added time at the end of the 90. That will be scant consolation for both teams. Well, Brunei will go back to the drawing board. They changed their coach just before the playoffs. Mohamed Ali Mustafa, who'd been in charge of the under-17s and the assistant coach to the national team. Be interesting to see with Zé Pedro, the opposite number, who said that when he spoke to the president, despite the fact I think he's only on a 12-month contract which expires in August, but I'm sure now that he's got his side into the Hyundai Cup, that is bargaining power for an extension to that contract. And be interesting to see how they fare in that tournament, which is next month, which sounds quite close when you say it that way. We are into June, of course. Here's Onacio, scored that third goal. Here he goes again. Oh, that's a goal kick. Just overran it slightly, but he's such an exciting player. When you think they took off Gustavo and Zhao Rangel and brought on Onacio and Olga Malik, two more players with lots of pace about them. Already into the 6 minutes added time. By Anitso Correa. Fatur. Hanif. Nasri. Playing that into the channel, but there was nobody there anywhere near it. Anitso Correa with a simple job. I think Dylan Niski wanted the ball, but now the substitute plays it back to his goalkeeper, who in turn plays it back to Anitso Correa. Plays for AD San Antonio. Olga Malik, wide to Luis Figo. Sliding in was Martin Hadi. Correa. Oh, it's a heavy touch, just got there first and stabbed it ahead. Lovely little flick off to Ryan John. Oh, heaving his way through three, and then a little trip from Nasri gives Timor Leste the free kick. Arate players in the area for Timor Leste. Goes for the low one. Tried to fire that all the way through. It's hammered away by Hanif for the corner. Xavier Ratte is another player that plays in Australia with Western Sydney Wanderers. Mother is from Timor Leste, father Argentinian Uruguayan. He will take the corner. Really congested in front of Haimi, the goalkeeper. Hooked away by Harris. Luis Figo. Oh, well defended by Brunei. Harris. Foot in from Thiago. Got it back from Oligo Malik. Away by Haimi. Ryan John might just have pushed that one a little bit too far ahead, and he plays the ball out off him for another goal kick. But this is just running seconds off the clock now, into the final minute of added time. Timor-Leste had a big aggregate defeat to Brunei in 2022. It was 6-3 on aggregate. It's a little bit closer when the teams met 2 years ago. And, well, this has redressed the balance in terms of that defeat. Brunei actually won the first leg of that 6-2. It was 1-0 to Timor-Leste in the second leg. But this has been two very good performances by Zé Pedro's side. Attack-minded football, pressing high, and they did have to do it the hard way here to come from behind. Good tackling back by Ignacio, who's keen to make an impression for himself in this young side. Last chance maybe for Brunei to grab a consolation. The keeper was the shout, just helped it on its way. Didn't know what was going on behind him. Might be looking for a little bit of help from his defenders, but can afford a wry smile at this late stage of the game.
Finish. Timor Leste 3, Brunei Darussalam 1.